Welcome back. In South Africa, the uMkhonto weSizwe party has filed urgent papers in the Constitutional Court seeking to interdict the National Assembly's first sitting, which will be held on Friday in Cape Town. According to the Section 51, Sub 1 of the Constitution, the first sitting must take place at a time and date to be determined by Chief Justice and within 14 days after the election results have been declared. The MK party's lawyers have previously sent a letter to demand to the Secretary of Parliament and Chief Justice Raymond Zondo requesting a halt to the first sitting of Parliament. Well, to discuss this, we're joined by political analyst Sandile Swana, who joins us from Krugersdorp in South Africa. Good evening to you. Thank you very kindly for your time. What is the basis for MK's claims of irregularity during the election, and how do they intend to prove these claims?
The basis of the claims, whether the claims are sufficient is another matter, but the basis of the claims is that during the elections, there were, in the main, that could have affected the numbers, a situation where the manual slip, where they've counted at a particular voting station, when they get to the computer, they find that what was captured on the computer is different. So there would have been a few of those types of discrepancies, the manual versus the electronic. Then obviously in our systems here, if you complain like that, the complaint is investigated and a determination is made. And those determinations were made that those complaints are not substantial to change the outcome of the election.
Interesting. Sandile, is the MK's attempt to stop the Parliament's first sitting a viable legal strategy, or is it likely to be unsuccessful?
At this stage, legal analysts are saying the strategy is more political than legal, because legally, the Chief Justice and the Secretary of Parliament do not have to stop the election of the President and the Speaker of Parliament until a court declares that there were irregularities in the election itself and then holds it on that basis. There is no such decision, and it won't be there by Friday this week. So, so there is no legal basis to do that.
So how will this action impact on the transition process to a new government, be it albeit a coalition government, which it seems it's supposed to be? And what are the potential consequences, apart from the impact on the process, what are the potential consequences for South Africa's political stability?
The establishment of what is called a government of national unity, which is a form of coalition, if you like, in South Africa, that will go on smoothly on Friday. And then and let's hope that the electoral court does not find that those irregularities were substantial enough to warrant a re-election, a revote. So if that is the case, then the uMkhonto weSizwe party and its allies will have to use the parliamentary process to contest the ideas and practices of the government of national unity, and also extra parliamentary processes which are allowed in our law to protest in the streets and elsewhere. But I do not see that interrupting the actual operation of the government. And that is normal procedure. The EFF has done that for a very long time.
What are the key issues that need to be addressed in the first sitting of Parliament?
This first sitting on Friday really doesn't have substance in terms of, for instance, macroeconomic policy, those types of things. It's more of you can call it an inauguration. You elect the president and you elect the speaker, they are sworn in. That is the business of the day. Then the matter is handed over to Parliament itself. Then the Parliament and the president separately must then do their job. The president must set up the cabinet separately. Parliament must set up its committees, and so on and so forth.
And how will the different parties in this government of national unity you earlier mentioned work to achieve their goals as a united force, given their differing ideological backgrounds and priorities?
Yes, you know, there has been attempts here in South Africa, and there has been a period, by the way, when the ANC has been in government and very successful under President Thabo Mbeki, where he had overwhelming support of investors in South Africa from the private sector, without belonging to a different party. So I did look at the numbers. If they were just to adopt those strategies, for instance, investments in infrastructure and those types of things, which are practical things, they don't need much ideology, they would definitely achieve much success. So I'm saying if they were to practice what they've been preaching, to implement data-driven strategies and data-driven policies, they would find common ground. But obviously, there is this IMF type of mentality of austerity measures, which the DA may want to push. And the ANC is very weak ideologically anyway and intellectually at this point in time. So the DA could have its way in many of these debates.
Quite interesting times ahead for politics and governance in South Africa. Andile Iswanda, thank you so very kindly for your time this afternoon.
Thank you so much. Bye.